If you love learning bridge strategy through real game stories, hit subscribe. You won't want to miss what's coming next.
All right, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to pull up a chair at a local bridge club to break down a really powerful bidding tool called Bergen Raises. And we're going to do it by looking at a couple of hands that tell the whole story.
So, picture this. You're at the Bridge and Biscotti Club. You can almost smell the espresso, right? The weekly competition is in full swing, and things are getting serious. And the star of today's show, whether our players realize it yet or not, is going to be all about communication and how one little bid can change everything.
Now, before we see the actual hands, we got to get the rules of the road down. Let's do a quick run-through of what Bergen Raises are all about so you'll know exactly what to look for.
So what is a Bergen Raise? Well, it's what we call an artificial bid. That just means the bid doesn't mean what it says on the tin. If you bid 3 diamonds, you're not saying, hey, let's play in diamonds. Instead, it's a secret code that gives your partner very, very specific info about your hand after they've opened 1 heart or 1 spade.
Okay, and this is crucial. To even think about using one of these bids, you have to meet 2 conditions. They are non-negotiable. First, and most importantly, you must have 4-card support for your partner's major suit. Not 3, 4. That 8-card fit is the magic number. And second, your hand has to have a certain number of points. You've got to have both.
So let's just put ourselves in the hot seat for a second. Your partner opens 1 heart. You look down, you've got 4-card support and a solid 11 points. What's the bid? The textbook answer is probably 3 hearts, right? But that single bid, it just doesn't tell the whole story, does it? It feels like you're leaving some crucial information on the table.
And that exact scenario, well, it really gets to the heart of a fundamental challenge in a lot of standard bidding systems. Let's break down that problem.
See, here's the core issue. When you make a standard raise to, say, 2 hearts, you could have a constructive 7 points, or you could have a borderline 10. That's a massive range, and it leaves your partner completely in the dark, forcing them to guess whether or not to push for game. And that ambiguity, that's what leads to missed games and, just as bad, overbid slams.
But here's the big problem. Let's go back to that 5-point hand we started with. In a standard, natural system, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to pass. And what does that mean? It means you have to hide your 4-card support from your partner. You could be missing a great fit, all because the system just doesn't have a good, precise way to show a supportive but weak hand.
Now, this is exactly the kind of ambiguity that the Bergen Convention was designed to eliminate. So let's take a look at how it pulls it off.
Here's the big idea. Bergen takes those 3-level minor suit bids, 3 clubs and 3 diamonds, and gives them a whole new job. Instead of showing clubs or diamonds, they now describe very specific point ranges when you're supporting your partner's major. It's a simple little switch, but it's so powerful. It completely replaces guesswork with precision.
And the credit for this absolute gem of an idea goes to the man himself, Marty Bergen. He had this key insight that once you know you have a trump fit, the game changes. It's not just about high card points anymore. It's about the hand's total playing strength. And this entire convention is built on that philosophy. So, what is this new language that Bergen gives us? Let's break down the actual bids and what they mean. Essentially, the system creates 3 crystal clear lanes for your raises, all based on your point strength. You've got your weak hands, your constructive hands, and your game-forcing hands. This level of clarity just totally transforms the auction and lets you place contracts so much more accurately.
Okay, here's the nitty-gritty. With Bergen, a jump to 3 of the major suit actually becomes your weakest raise. It's a preemptive bid, showing 0 to 6 points, meant to get in the opponent's way. The real information, though, is in the minors. Bidding 3 clubs shows that constructive 7 to 9-point hand, and 3 diamonds, that shows the powerful 10 to 12-point limit raise, just like that hand we talked about at the very beginning.
Now, to really unlock the power of this system, we have to think a little differently. We need to look beyond just the high card points on the face of the cards. It's time to talk about dummy points. And this gets us to the concept of dummy points. See, the second you know you have a trump fit, the value of your hand can change a lot. Suddenly, your short suits, your singletons and voids become incredibly valuable because your partner can rough their losers in your hand, basically creating tricks out of thin air.
And the math here couldn't be easier. You just add 1 point for any singleton you have and 2 points for a void. So that 9-point hand you had, if it has a singleton, you now count it as a 10-point hand for your Bergen bid. It's just a much more accurate way to show its true playing strength. Okay, so you've made your super precise Bergen bid. The ball is now in your partner's court. What do they do with all this great information? Let's walk through the opener's rebids.
Let's start with that weak response, a jump to 3 of the major. You sent a very clear signal. Partner, I have support for you, but I've got 0 to 6 points. Now, the opener knows exactly where they stand. If they have a bare minimum opening hand, they'll just pass. It's that simple. But if they're sitting on a monster hand, like 18 or 19 points, they might just decide to bid game all by themselves, knowing it actually has a real shot.
Okay, what about after a 3-club response? Well, you've just shown a very specific constructive hand, 7 to 9 points. You're basically saying, hey partner, I'm interested in game. What do you think?
And with that beautifully specific information, the opener's decision becomes a piece of cake. A minimum hand will sign off in 3 of the major, but with any extra values at all, they can confidently accept the invitation and bid game. See? No more guessing.
And finally, we have the strongest of the Bergen bids, 3 diamonds. This shows 10 to 12 points and is pretty much a confirmation that you two have the combined values to be in game.
The opener is now in complete command. With a rock-bottom minimum, maybe they'll still sign off, but honestly, most of the time, they're just going to bid the game. And if they have a really exceptional hand, they can start looking for a slam with confidence, knowing you've given them the perfect foundation to build on. So when you put it all together, what's the real tangible advantage here? Let's look at the bidding edge you get when you add Bergen Raises to your arsenal.
The difference is just, well, it's night and day. A natural system gives you 2 raises with these wide, kind of vague, overlapping point ranges. Bergen gives you 3 highly specific bids. You get a dedicated weak raise to mess with the opponents, and your invitational bid becomes so much more narrowly defined. The precision is just on another level.
Okay, so to really see the difference here, let's put these 2 systems right next to each other. This is where you can see just how different the philosophies are.
This right here is the absolute key. In the natural system, a jump to 3 of a major is your classic invitational hand. Partner, I've got a pretty good hand. But if you're playing Bergen, that exact same bid now shows your weakest possible responding hand, maybe 0 to 6 points. The meaning is completely flipped on its head, and that is the single most important difference you have to get straight between these 2.
So why go through all this trouble? What do you get for it? Well, there are 2 huge advantages. First, you totally solved that problem of how to describe your weak supportive hands. And second, that jump to the 3 level now acts as a preempt. It eats up a ton of bidding room and makes it really, really hard for your opponents to find their own fit and get into the auction.
And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? You get to communicate more information, you do it more accurately, and you do it at a lower bidding level. All of this helps you find the right contract, compete way more effectively, and bid those tight games that you might have been too scared to bid before.
So the basic system is already super powerful, right? But one of its best features is that it's flexible. Once you and your partner get the fundamentals down, you can start exploring some really popular variations to fine-tune the system to fit your style. The most common tweak is called reverse Bergen, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You just flip the meanings of the 3-club and 3-diamond bids. Now 3-club shows the stronger limit raise hand. So why do this? Well, the logic is pretty smart. It lets the stronger hand get its message across at a lower bidding level, which saves valuable space for more investigation if you need it. It's a simple switch, but you absolutely have to agree on it with your partner beforehand. Okay, so what happens when the opponents don't just sit there quietly? You know they won't. That's where a cool variation like Bromad comes in. It stands for Bergen Raises over major after double. It adds this whole other layer of precision. Now you can show not just your point count, but whether you have 3-card or 4-card support. And let me tell you, that can be absolutely critical information when the auction gets competitive.
And while we're talking about competitive auctions, another really useful tool to have in your back pocket is Jordan 2NT. If an opponent makes a takeout double of your partner's major, a simple bit of 2NT from you can show that same limit raise strength. It's just a great, efficient shortcut when the opponents are trying to muddy the waters.
After that takeout double from an opponent, a simple bit of 2NT from you shows a limit raise or better with support. It's a very direct, very effective way to get your strong, supportive hand across. So, Bergen sounds pretty great. And for the most part, it is. That level of precision is a massive advantage. But, like any convention in bridge, it's not a free lunch. There are always trade-offs. So let's take an honest look at both the good and the not so good.
The upsides are huge. You get such a clearer picture of your partner's hand, which means you're just going to make better game bidding decisions, period. Those weak raises are a fantastic competitive weapon. And for me, maybe the most important thing is that the system neatly separates your truly game-forcing hands from the ones that are just invitational. That's a huge step up for any partnership.
But on the flip side, there are some things to think about. The biggest one is that your 3-club and 3-diamond bids are now spoken for. They're artificial, which means you lose the ability to bid those suits naturally at the 3 level. And this is not a convention you can just wing. It takes memory and, most importantly, rock-solid agreements with your partner to avoid some truly epic misunderstandings. All right, so let's say you're thinking about adding this powerful tool to your arsenal. How do you make sure you do it right? Well, it all comes down to good preparation and knowing how to steer clear of a few very common traps that can trip up anyone. Let's go over the top 3 mistakes people make. First, and this is a big one, forgetting that these artificial raises almost always promise 4-card support. Second, mixing up your high card points with your dummy points. You've got to remember to add in value for those singletons and voids. And finally, being fuzzy on your point ranges. Is your constructive raise 7 to 9 points or 7 to 10? Believe me, that one little point can completely change the auction.
So think of this as your pre-flight checklist. Before you ever try to use these bids at the table, you have to sit down with your partner and go through these points. Lock in your point ranges. Decide, are we playing standard or reverse? Talk about how you'll handle doubles. A 5-minute chat about this stuff now can save you a world of hurt later on.
Okay, so after all of that, what do you do? How do you choose? The thing is, it's not really about which system is definitively better. It's about finding the system that's a better fit for you and your partner's style and memory.
And look, let's be really clear, Bergen is not for everyone. There is a very strong case to be made for just sticking with the natural ladder. You have way fewer artificial bids to remember, which means fewer chances for a catastrophic misunderstanding. It's clean, it's simple, and for a lot of partnerships, you just can't overstate the value of that kind of simplicity.
Okay, so theory time is over. Let's head back to the Bridge and Biscotti Club and see how this actually plays out in the real world. All right, with those rules fresh in our minds, let's jump to the first deal from the club. This is a perfect example of a really common mistake, and it shows you exactly when you need to keep this tool locked away. So here's how the bidding went. North opens 1 spade. East passes. South thinks for a moment and just bids 2 spades. North passes, and that's it. The auction's over. Pretty quiet, pretty standard stuff. But you're probably thinking, hold on a second. I thought this was about Bergen Raises. Why did South make such a plain, simple bid? It's a great question. Let's peek at their cards and find out why.
And here it is. This is what South was looking at. They have 10 high card points. That's a decent hand for sure. But, and this is the whole story right here, look at their spades. They only have 3 of them.
So let's run it through our little checklist. Does South have enough points? Yes, 10 points is in the zone. We'll give that a check. But does South have 4-card support? Nope, only 3. And because that first absolute must-have rule isn't met, a Bergen bid is off the table, not allowed.
And that's the bottom line, really. It all comes down to the fit. If you don't have that 4-card support for your partner's major suit, the entire Bergen system is a no-go. You just have to bid normally.
Okay, so we've seen the trap, we've seen when not to use it. Now let's flip the script and look at our second deal. This is where things get exciting, and we see the real power of this convention when it's used the right way.
In this hand, South opens 1 heart, West passes, and now it's North's turn. And look at this. They jump all the way to 3 diamonds. Now that is not a normal bid. That is a signal. That is our Bergen raise in action.
To be specific, that 3-diamond bid has a name. It's a Bergen limit raise. And that single bid is about to tell South a whole story about North's hand. So what's the secret message in that 3-diamond bid? It's telling South 2 very precise things. First, partner, I've got a good hand, somewhere in the 10 to 12 point range. And second, partner, I have exactly 4 of your hearts. All of that information is packed into that one little bid. Just think about what this does for South. A light bulb just went off. Instantly, they know the partnership has a great hard fit and enough points to start thinking about Slam, one of the biggest contracts in Bridge. The whole goal of the hand just changed.
And just watch how this conversation unfolds. Because South has all this info, they start investigating. They bid 3 spades, not to play there, but to show they have the ace or king of spades. It's called a Q bid. North replies 4 diamonds, saying, I've got diamonds covered.
Then South uses a special bid, 4 no trump, to ask, hey partner, how many aces you got? North's 5 heart bid says, I have 2. They're literally checking off all the boxes to make sure they're safe before they take the final leap.
And after that careful step-by-step investigation, all of which was only possible because of that first Bergen raise, South knows exactly what to do. They bid the Grand Slam, 7 hearts.
And you know what happened? They made it. A massive score for their team. And it all started because that 3-diamond bid gave them the crystal clear information they needed to go looking for Slam.
So after seeing those 2 hands play out, what are the big takeaways for you? How can you actually start using this in your own game? Let's boil it down.
Here's the basic cheat sheet. A jump to 3 of the major, like 3 hearts, is still just a weak get-in-the-way bid. The real magic of Bergen is in the minor suit bids. 3 clubs tells your partner you have a constructive hand, maybe 7 to 9 points. And 3 diamonds, like we just saw, is the big one, that slam invitational hand with 10 to 12 points. It gives you these clear, separate lanes.
So if you're going to walk away with anything, remember these 3 golden rules. 1, 4-card support. Always, always, always check for it first. It's the key to the whole thing. 2, use those 3 club and 3 diamond bids to give your partner a precise picture of your strength. And 3, when you get that information, use it. Start having those conversations about Slam.
What this convention really does is replace guesswork with precision. It lets you and your partner get on the same page way faster, which means you can find those amazing contracts you might have otherwise missed. So the only question left is, now that you know the rules, how is this going to change your game?
Subscribe our channel for more videos.